I am Mark, and I am 61 years old. I died alone in my living room on February 14, 2025, while watching a political debate on TV. I worked as a police officer in a small town in Ohio for 30 years. I did a good job. I thought I knew the difference between right and wrong. I didn't know what to do with all the energy I used to put into the badge when I retired, so I put it on my computer instead. I'd get up before my wife Elaine every morning and open my laptop. Every headline made my blood pressure go up as I scrolled through news sites and Facebook. I told myself that America was falling apart. Someone needed to say something. Someone had to stand up for what was right. Elaine would come down and see me typing like crazy. "Mark, it's 7 in the morning," she would say in a soft voice. "Can't you just have a cup of coffee first?" But I couldn't. There was too much on the line. Hannah, our daughter, used to come over every Sunday. After that, it was every other Sunday. Then, every month. After that, she stopped coming altogether. We fought about politics at the dinner table the last time I saw her. She got up, tears in her eyes, and said, "Dad, I miss you. But I no longer know who you are." I told her that as she got older, she would understand. When she saw how dangerous the world was getting, she left and never came back. That was 8 months ago. Most nights, Elaine and I ate dinner without talking. She would try to talk to me about our grandson's baseball games or her book club, but I was always thinking about something else, on the most recent outrage, about the next comment I had to make, about the fight I thought I was in. I would pray at night. But my prayers didn't sound like prayers anymore. They sounded like people were complaining, like plans for battle. God, show them the truth. Tell them they're ruining this country. Give us warriors to fight for you. I thought I was protecting Jesus. I thought he needed me to be mad for him. I was tired, to be honest. I always felt like my chest was tight. When I read some headlines, my hands shook. I couldn't remember the last time I was at peace. It was a Friday night on February 14th. Elaine had gone to bed early. I sat in my recliner by myself, the blue light from the TV shining on me. There was a debate going on between two men about Christianity and the future of America. Charlie Kirk was one of them. I nodded along, agreeing with every harsh word and every passionate defense. Then my chest hurt. Hard. The room leaned. The voices on TV got quieter and more distant. I tried to grab my phone, but my fingers wouldn't move. It fell to the floor with a bang. Heaven wasn't the last thing on my mind. It wasn't about my daughter or wife. They're going to mess everything up. Then everything got dark. The dark didn't last long. I opened my eyes and was standing, not in my house, somewhere else, somewhere that didn't make sense. I looked down and saw that I was still in the chair. I tilted my head back. My mouth is open. My hand was hanging off the armrest. The TV was still flashing. I could no longer hear Charlie Kirk talking. "Oh no," I said softly. "Oh no, no, no." I wanted to wake myself up. I wanted to call Elaine, but I couldn't get closer to my body. It felt like there was a wall between us, even though I could see everything clearly. I should have felt pain in my chest, but it didn't. Nothing hurt. That's when I started to feel scared. Fear that is real. Not the scared anger I felt when I watched the news. This was not the same. This was the fear of knowing you can't go back. "I don't want to," I said out loud. I didn't get to say goodbye. After that, the room began to change. The walls didn't go away. They just stopped being important. There was light everywhere and nowhere. Soft. Warm. Like the sun shining through the curtains on a spring morning. And the quiet. I can't put it into words. It wasn't just quiet. It felt like all of my worries had suddenly been lifted off my shoulders. The tightness in my chest is gone. The anger that was in my stomach is gone. The tiredness I didn't know I had is gone. I began to cry. Tears that aren't sad. I don't even know what kind of tears they were. The light got brighter, but it didn't hurt my eyes. It seemed like it wanted me to come. It seemed like it had been waiting for me. And then he came. Before he said anything, I knew it was Jesus. I just knew, the way you know your name. He looked at me with eyes that saw everything, every angry post, every phone call from Hannah that I didn't answer, every time I turned my back on Elaine, and every prayer that sounded more like a demand than a conversation. He didn't seem mad, though. He seemed sad. But also, so much love that I couldn't stand up anymore. I got down on my knees, not because I thought I should, because I couldn't stand up. I said, "I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was fighting for you." Jesus got down on his knees next to me. He didn't stand over me. He came down to where I was. "Mark," he said in a soft voice. His voice made my name sound different, like he had known me for a long time. It was like he had been calling my name my whole life, and I was too loud to hear it. I couldn't stop crying. I felt completely safe for the first time in decades. It felt like I could finally stop defending myself, stop trying to prove myself. Stop it. He reached out and touched my shoulder, and at that moment I knew that nothing I thought was important really was. Jesus said softly, "I need to show you something. Will you walk with me?" I nodded. I would have gone anywhere with him. Jesus showed me the way through the light. We weren't walking on the ground, but we were moving. It felt like everything around us was alive, like the air itself was breathing with a purpose. He stopped and turned to look at me. His eyes were kind, but they also had something in them that made me feel small and safe at the same time. "Mark," he said, "you've spent so many years defending my name. But I want to tell you what happened to my heart along the way." He waved his hand, and all of a sudden the light changed. Pictures appeared all around us, like memories on water. I saw myself sitting at my desk every morning. My face is hard, my jaw was tight, typing words that looked harsh on the screen but felt right, comments on news stories, fights with people you don't know, posts about foes, fights, and the truth. "I was standing up for you," I said softly. "Were you?" Jesus asked in a soft voice. "Or were you defending the version of me that made you feel safe?" The pictures changed. I saw my daughter Hannah crying in her car outside our house. She had come to see him, but she couldn't bring herself to knock. She knew what was going to happen. Another talk, another point of view. It was another reminder that her father liked being right more than he liked listening to her. My throat got tight. "I didn't know she came 6 times, Jesus said in a low voice. "She sat in that car 6 times, hoping this time would be different." I wanted to turn away, but I couldn't. The scene changed again. Elaine was sitting alone at the kitchen table, looking at her cold coffee. I was in the other room, yelling at the TV. She had given up trying to get in touch with me. The woman who had loved me for 35 years had turned into a ghost in her own home. "I was protecting our values," I said weakly. "Our faith, our nation." Jesus got closer. "Mark, do you remember the night you gave your life to me? You were 19 years old, in the basement of a small church. All of a sudden I was there. I could see it. I was kneeling at a wooden altar as a child, crying. The youth pastor put his hand on my shoulder, the strong feeling that I was loved, that I was good enough, that I didn't have to show anything. Jesus said, 'You met me that night. Not as a warrior, not as a defender, but as a son who was happy to be home.' I nodded, and the memory broke something inside me. 'What happened?' he asked in a soft voice. 'I don't know,' I said. 'Things got tough. The work got hard. As a cop, I saw horrible things, people hurting one another, evil that looked like it would win, and I was mad. I got tired of seeing the world fall apart.' Jesus nodded slowly. 'And you thought I needed you to fix it.' The words hit me like a splash of cold water. The pictures around us changed once more. I saw something I didn't expect this time. Charlie Kirk. But not the man on stage who was sure of himself. This was him by himself in a hotel room late at night. He was sitting on the edge of the bed with his head in his hands, tired, asking questions, wondering if all the fighting was really making a difference or just making the noise louder. "Why are you showing me this?" I asked. "Because you made him a hero," Jesus said, "and by doing that, you became a soldier in a war I never asked you to fight." He waved his hand again, and the scene got bigger. I saw a lot of people on both sides of every argument. Everyone is mad. They were all scared. They all thought they were protecting me. Mark, when my people choose anger over love, they become what they are afraid of. They don't want their own kids around. They put up walls in their own homes. They give up my peace for the illusion of control. My chest tightened again, but this time it was grief instead of pain. "But Lord," I said in a desperate voice, "what about the truth? What about what's right and what's wrong? Don't you want us to stand for something?" Jesus knelt down again so that he was at my level. He held both of my hands. "I want you to stand for me," he said, "not for a kind of Christianity that looks like anger dressed up as Bible verses. Not for a movement that wins debates but loses people. Not for leaders who are passionate but forget to care." His grip got a little tighter. "Mark, the enemy you've been fighting isn't out there. It's been in here." He put his hand on my chest. Fear, pride, the desire to be right instead of the desire to love. That's what's wrong with my church. That's what's tearing my people apart. That's what's tearing America apart. My face was covered in tears. So I was wrong about everything? "No," Jesus said firmly. "You were right to care. You have the right to love your country. It's okay to want to protect what matters. But you forgot that the greatest protection I ever offered the world wasn't a sword. It was a cross, not power. But love that took in the hate and changed it. The pictures changed one more time. Politics ripped families apart. Churches are breaking up. Kids leaving their faith because it looked like anger instead of grace. I saw myself in the middle of it all, not the only thing that caused it. But instead of being a shelter from the storm, I add my voice to it. "Every leader is a mirror," Jesus said in a soft voice. "Charlie Kirk, the politicians you like, the pastors you look up to, they are all examples of what people who lift them up have in their hearts. If my people wanted love more than winning, their leaders would sound different. The whole country would change if they wanted to be united more than right." He got up and pulled me up with him. "America doesn't need more soldiers for my name, Mark. It needs people to see my love. It needs dads who pay attention to their daughters, husbands who see their wives, people who believe in God and pray for their enemies instead of talking about them." I felt something inside me break, something old, hard, and tired. "I don't want to go back," I said quietly. "I don't want to leave you. This place is so quiet, so safe." Jesus smiled, but there was sadness in it. "I know, son. But there are still people who are sitting in recliners, alone in the dark, and think that anger is worship. Daughters are waiting for their fathers to call, wives waiting for their husbands to come home, not just physically, but also with their hearts." He put his hand on my chest. "Go back and show them what I showed you, that love is stronger than anger, that listening is better than yelling, that my kingdom doesn't come through politics, it comes through changed hearts." "But what if they don't pay attention?" I asked. "Then you love them anyway," Jesus said. "That's how revival begins, not with a country, with one person who stops fighting and starts loving." The light around us started to pulse. "Mark, it's time." "Will I be able to remember this?" I begged. He promised, "Every word. Now go and tell them I don't want any defenders. I want lovers." The light took everything in. I woke up with a gasp. Lights that glow, machines that beep. A nurse's face above me, eyes wide with shock. She yelled, "He's back! He's alive!" But all I could do was cry, not because I was hurting, because I wasn't there anymore. I wasn't with him. The perfect love and the perfect peace were gone. And losing it felt like being torn in half. A doctor bent down to talk to me. "Mr. Carson, you're in the hospital. You had a very bad heart attack. You are very lucky. Good luck." It felt weird to say the word. I had been somewhere that was more than luck, somewhere outside of this world. And now I was back in a body that felt small and heavy. But I remembered everything Jesus said to me, every picture he showed me, every second of that sweet, heartbreaking love. I called Hannah 3 days later when I was strong enough to hold a phone. On the fourth ring she picked up. She spoke carefully, cautious. "Hannah," I said, and my voice broke. "I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for everything. I don't want to fight. I don't want to give you a lecture. I just want to hear you talk. I want to know how you're doing. I want to be your dad again." No one on the other end. Then a small breath that shook. "Dad?" "I'm here, my love, and I'm paying attention." We talked for 2 hours. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything to her. I didn't try to change her mind about anything. I just listened to you like Jesus did, with love, patience, and the understanding that sometimes being heard is more important than being right. I held Elaine's hand in the car when she came to get me from the hospital, just like I used to when we were kids. "I've been away," I told her, "not just during the heart attack. For a long time. I've been sitting right next to you, but I haven't been there. I'm so sorry." She wept. We both did. I unplugged my computer when I got home, not for good. But I stopped looking at the news first thing in the morning. I stopped writing mean comments. I stopped thinking of people I didn't know on the internet as enemies who needed to be beaten. I did something else instead. I named it Hearts Before Headlines. People come to my living room every Thursday night. People who are liberal, people who are conservative, people who voted in different ways, had different beliefs. But we don't want to fight. We are here to listen, to pray, to keep in mind that we are all sons and daughters of the same God before we are Republicans or Democrats. A young man came by last week. He had been keeping an eye on Charlie Kirk online. He was mad, just like I used to be. I didn't fight with him. I just told my story. I told him what Jesus told me. Love is stronger than anger. That the world doesn't need more soldiers. More people need to be brave enough to put down their guns and pick up kindness instead. Hannah comes by now. Every Sunday, she brings my grandson along. We don't always see eye to eye on everything. That's fine, though, because I've learned that loving someone doesn't mean making them better. It means looking at them, seeing them for real. I still think about that time with Jesus late at night. The peace that fills you up. The safety that comes from being completely known and loved. And I remember what he told me. Tell them I'm not looking for defenders. I'm looking for lovers. That's what I'm doing then. One talk at a time. One apology at a time. One option is to listen instead of talk. Because Jesus is watching. He's always been looking. He doesn't wait for us to win arguments for him, waiting for us to love like he did. That's how America gets better. That's how families get back together. That's how the kingdom of God really comes, not through power, through love. Before you go, subscribe and type in the comments where you're tuning in from. Each message is a reminder that God's love stretches across cities, states, and nations, uniting us as one body. This isn't just a channel. It's a prayer circle, a family in Christ, and we're grateful you're here.